podcast for curious mind.
Entah jadi manajer atau entrepreneur, kita selalu dituntut untuk relevan. Setuju nggak? Biar servis atau produk yang dijual sama kita ya terus dipakai banyak orang. Belum lagi ya kalau tim kita banyak. Gimana nih jadi leader yang nggak cuma didengar, tapi juga ngehasilin leader lain dan bikin tim kita makin naik kelas? Selamat datang di Uang Bicara, menavigasi kamu supaya tetap cuan. Bareng saya Puri Anindita. Episode ini kita akan kenalan sama program kerennya University of Oxford, yang di UK itu, yang bisa ngejawab masalah tadi. Program ini dirancang khusus untuk pebisnis dan manajer buat bisa naik level. Kali ini kita dengerin dua orang perancang kurikulumnya, Tania Rashidi dan Joe Polizia, yang udah berbagi di event Uang Bicara Table Talk dan udah direkam sebelumnya. Yuk kita dengerin di Uang Bicara.
Mulai dengan kasih konteks dulu ya untuk Bapak Ibu, teman-teman, termasuk ini ada dosen-dosen juga di sini ya. Setuju atau tidak? Boleh bilang setuju atau tidak ya, keras-keras ya. Kalau cara kita berbisnis 5 tahun lalu dengan sekarang tuh udah beda banget. Setuju nggak? Setuju ya? Setuju. Mau yang berkarir di corporate udah beda. Talent war ini makin kencang gitu ya. Apalagi yang berbisnis dan kalau kita lihat di Future of Jobs Report terakhirnya World Economic Forum, ini ada 2 skill yang ternyata nggak pernah pudar dan justru sangat krusial sekarang ini adalah entrepreneurship dan leadership. Kita paham sepertinya kita yang biasa di korporasi atau lagi di kampus gitu ya, pendidikan penting, soft skill penting, tapi juga sambil menjalani bisnis kita suka mikir gini, upgrade diri itu penting ya, tapi kalau ngambil S2 atau PhD kayaknya waktuku gak cukup deh gitu ya, kerjaan banyak banget nih gitu, tuntutannya beda. Nah gimana caranya ilmu-ilmu penting ini bisa kita dapat dalam durasi cepat Bapak Ibu teman-teman. Soalnya kita gak bisa ninggalin kerjaan. Nah ini akan kita bahas dalam talk show kali ini, ada program akselerasi yang memungkinkan kita punya skill baru dalam waktu dekat. Nama programnya adalah Leadership and Entrepreneurship Acceleration Programme atau LEAP seperti yang Bapak Ibu bisa lihat di layar. Dan ini pertama kalinya membuka kesempatan untuk partisipan dari Indonesia belajar di Oxford University untuk program ini. Nah, malam ini kita akan punya 3 speakers yang akan berbagi insight dan akan cerita lebih banyak tentang LEAP Oxford ini. Jadi silahkan sekali ya gunakan kesempatan malam ini untuk bertanya di sesi Q&A. Nanti sambil dinner, kita makan malam juga kita bisa saling terkoneksi satu sama lain, saling ngobrol. And to kick off our event tonight, please welcome founder of Nusantara Network, Dr. Nur Aina. Dr. Nur Aina, the floor is yours. Boleh tepuk tangannya untuk beliau.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat malam ya Bapak Ibu. Saya Dr. Aina, sebenarnya saya medical doctor, tapi ya udah menjurus ke arah marketing, media dan segala. Saya mula-mulanya dulu kerja sama saya sama Puri 3 tahun lalu di Jawa Post. Jadi kenalan sama Puri. Nah saya udah bekerja di Indonesia kurang lebih 7 tahun. Sebelum ini dengan Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council ya kita buat medical tourism. Nanti rata-rata kan saya tengok ramai orang-orang Indonesia, orang Malaysia sering tukar-tukar pendapat. Sering tukar-tukar ternyata kalau orang Malaysia bisa belajar dari orang Indonesia bisa belajar dari orang Malaysia. Nah sekalian saya berkenan teman saya kebetulan Tania, founder for LEAP program, satu hari itu bicara ya kita mau coba nggak market di Indonesia. Kita coba ya kalau this LEAP Leadership and Acceleration Program untuk cohort khas khusus dari Indonesia. Jadi hari ini saya sama teman-teman saya, Tania dan sama Ibu Aniza, we would like to open the doors to Indonesian participants to actually learn and also have a good thorough questions, answers, what do you want to know about the program. So this is basically a very short program, kursus singkat ya, kurang lebih mungkin dalam 1 minggu. Very concise, more on leadership, on entrepreneurship, and also to make friends. Jadi Bapak Ibu jangan segan ya nanti kalau mau nanya, walaupun udah habis ini program ini nanti ya masih bisa lagi kontak sama kita kalau mau taunya lebih lanjut. With that, saya ucapan terima kasih. Because of the jam, everybody made it on time. Enjoy your dinner. Have fun tonight. Ask as many questions as you like. If there's anything more that you want to ask later, my numbers will be circulating around. So help yourself. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih banyak, boleh tepuk tangannya buat Dr. Aina. Nah, jadi seperti yang Dr. Aina sempat katakan, program LIP ini sebenarnya sudah beberapa kali diadakan, tetapi memang baru pertama kali membuka kesempatan untuk partisipan dari Indonesia. Dan untuk lebih lanjutnya kita mendengar seperti apa sih keunikan program ini, seperti apa kurikulumnya gitu, berapa lama. Sosok yang satu ini akan bercerita lebih banyak. Jadi teman kita ini 8 tahun bekerja untuk Bank Negara Malaysia. Berkiprah juga di New York City untuk Legg Mason, Axiata, dan yang terakhir Head of Business Development at Sena Group. It is my pleasure to invite to the stage Miss Tania Rashidi. Boleh tepuk tangannya untuk Miss Tania.
Halo. Hai, selamat sore semua.
Sore.
Assalamualaikum. Saya akan bicara dalam bahasa Malaysia, mix sama English, sama Indonesia juga saya cuba ya. Tapi please, I apologize if saya punya, there's some barriers in my language. Tapi we have both Dr. Aina and Puri as well. Akan tolong translasi untuk saya ya. Okay, so basically the Leadership and Entrepreneurship Acceleration Programme, it started with dari 2012. Waktu itu it was zaman Prime Minister Najib who was very involved with SMEs. Dia nak membangunkan SME. Jadi ada KPI waktu itu untuk SME Corp where 30 of the companies needed to achieve growth by 30 times and also become global champions. And that was how we partnered with Accenture, which is the only recognized consulting arm that is in Oxford in terms of getting the certification. So Accenture has been very close to us, even since 2012, throughout all of our programs, as you can see. So I'm going to kick off a bit with a video so that everyone here can sort of visualize what the program is about before I get into details.
Oke, mari kita simak video berikut ini. Oke, thank you. Boleh tepuk tangannya buat Miss Tania. Ada satu sosok lagi yang segera bergabung dengan kita online, Bapak Ibu. Beliau ini yang tahu lebih banyak tentang kurikulum dan akan share juga insight seputar marketing, communication, dan juga entrepreneurship. His name is Joe Pelitier, Managing Director of Pelidigital. He also teaches in Oxford University. As a specialist in branding, marketing, and communication, he delivers training programs and works internationally. His knowledge and experience comes from advising some of the most recognized brands in the world. Jadi sering memberikan konsultasi untuk brand ternama seperti Nespresso, Gucci, dan juga England Rugby. His role is to help you gain insights into marketing, branding, and communication challenge you want to master. So joining us this time from Milan, actually. Hello, Joe. Can you hear us okay?
Hello. Yeah, thank you very much for that lovely introduction. You have to be careful what you believe when other people read out nice things about you. So thank you.
So let me kickstart with a quick question to you. What key trends that you see emerging and growing over the next year so we can consider them as part of our strategic planning for our brand growth journey? Go ahead.
That's a very good question. And it's a very topical one at the moment. And you won't be surprised when I say that it's AI, because everybody is looking at AI. In fact, I just was writing an article about it, which I sent off this morning. And the reason it's so big is that on one level, you've got lots of people talking about it and other people not really understanding it and it promising the world. And on another level, you've got organizations who are very frightened of it. And I think what's important is that we have to, not just in marketing and branding, but in all aspects of our work, not run away from it, but actually really work to understand it. And I think the big trend that's going to happen with it is that AI will start becoming a member of your team, becoming a member of your customer service team, it'll be a member of your marketing team. So I think that's the really big one. And what seems to be happening increasingly along that trend is increased use of AI chatbots. And so how these chatbots appear on websites, and they then start to personalize the experience. And what will start to happen is that you'll have what are called AI agents, which actually learn about behaviors and adapt themselves to your audience. And you may have multiple agents. So those are the sort of things that we're looking at, which are very big at the moment. And I think that's on a worldwide basis. I don't think it's necessarily East or West or anything like that.
Okay. So AI atau generative AI ini sepertinya sudah jadi buzzword ya selama 3 bulan terakhir gitu, dan ini mengubah tidak hanya satu industri tapi semuanya, termasuk akan punya efek ke marketing, communication. Tadi sempat disebutkan bisa jadi atau sudah bahkan chatbot ini sudah semakin jamak digunakan dan kedepannya akan bisa menular pada hal-hal lain. Saya yakin ini baru bagian permukaan, nanti saya tidak akan mendominasi percakapan ini sendiri ya Bapak Ibu. Jadi kalau nanti mau nanya langsung sama Joe gitu selaku dosen kita ini malam ini boleh saja. And you've worked with internationally known brands and clients. What seems to be the most common hurdles a brand owner face in sales and marketing, Joe?
It's making the time to communicate the benefits of their business and what they do. So that's one of them, not making sufficient time. The other is they focus too much on the product or the service without thinking enough about the customer. So they get so embedded in what it is that they're doing, they don't really think about what the customer is looking for. And I think the other one is about not having a good enough understanding of what marketing and communication is. And I think people who have businesses don't have to become expert at branding or marketing, but they need to have a better understanding of what it is in order that they can hire the right consultants or they can hire the right contractors. So those are 3 things. It's putting enough time into it, being able to, not spending enough time, not spending enough time on marketing, spending too much time understanding on working on the product or services, and then not looking to try to understand enough about sales and marketing.
Ini kalau saya ambil key takeaway-nya aja ya. Jadi biasanya kita sebagai brand owner atau kita yang sudah berada di posisi manajerial menengah ke atas akan selalu terpaku atau waktunya habis dengan daily task atau produksi. Saya bisa dapat tunjuk tangan yang ngerasa relate? Kalau saya relate, karena kita terpaku pada servisnya atau kita produknya, tapi kita belum mengalokasikan waktu lebih banyak karena waktunya habis ya untuk R&D, kemudian untuk memahami marketing sekarang seperti apa gitu. Jadi akhirnya habis untuk yang sehari-hari. And we also have friends in the audience, Joe, coming from NGO, EduTech, Health and Fitness, and SMEs, including solopreneurs, not just retails. Any insights you'd like to share with them?
Yes, I think one of the most important things, and this comes up time and time again working with businesses, it's being very clear and focused on what your values are. What is important to you as a business? Because if you get the values right, you then establish the right company culture. And once you have a good company culture, that transcends internally across the organization, and then it extends also to how you communicate. So that's the first thing. So I'll let you translate that because I'll keep my answers shorter.
Okay. Without further ado, I'm going to turn the spotlight back to Tanya because we would like to understand more on how LEAP, the program, can be a bridge to all that. Yeah. So I think you can take the baton now, and Joe, please stay with us for further question and answer from the audience. Go ahead, Tanya.
Okay, Joe, so I expect you to chip in for some of the programs or details of the modules that we're going to be discussing here. But just to give everyone a bit of insight, the design of the program datang dari Joe and myself. When we crafted this program, we had entrepreneurs and founders in mind. And that's why if we go through the modules later, you will see that it's very much targeted towards retail strategies, targeted towards marketing and leadership as well. Because soft skills, especially kalau founders dengan entrepreneurs ni, rasanya journey-nya lonely, ya. Because you feel like the only problems is you sendiri. And I'm sure with management themselves, you feel like this as well. Kalau jadi manager, jadi very lonely journey because the people under you would not understand the challenges that you go through. So that's why the leadership program is a very critical element as well that we put, that makes it about 3 out of the 5 days of this total program. Okay, so the Oxford methodology. Jadi di Oxford ni, they have very specific methodologies. Which is very much an intellectual approach, a lot of questioning, a lot of analytical thinking involved. So that is why bila kita buat kita punya program, there's a lot of case studies, a lot of observations as well. For example, dalam video tadi, you nampak ada otolenghi and all that. Sebenarnya that is a visit to Bista Village. We'll go through that in detail. Tapi Bista Village bukan untuk shopping saja, ya. Because memang it's a very well-known outlet. Tapi the reason is we actually got the management daripada Bista Village to talk about customer experience. See, the thing about customer experience ni, it's very detailed. Tak ada siapa akan fikir. But bila you dah tahu, they identify it for you, baru you rasa, oh, macam tu ya dia buat untuk attract the customers. We'll go into detail. Joe, I think you can talk about that in detail later about Bista Village because you were running the module specifically. But so
yes,
that's,
I think.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say something now or later?
Maybe a bit later when we talk about it in the next few slides. So we have the case studies. We also have breakout groups. So there is a business challenge. On the first day, you'll be presented with a business challenge. And over time, slowly the puzzle will unravel. So you will then start into your breakout groups and you will start to understand, okay, all these things that I'm learning, I can apply later to the business challenge. I'm not going to go into too detail here, but I will run through some of the key speakers. So as you know, we have Joe here, and he's very much our expert in marketing and strategies. We also have Dr. Tim Cullen. Dr. Tim Cullen, dia master dalam negotiation, and the stories that he tells are very interesting sebab dia pernah negotiate in Brexit, dia pernah negotiate in Bosnia punya situations as well. Jadi ceritanya memang mendalam. And then we have Dr. Richard Cuthbertson. He's very well known for retail strategies. He will talk about the strategies. Dr. Steve Cleverly, he's basically the MD of Oxentia, as well as Carrie Lomas, who talks about high performing team. Okay, program summary. I'm sorry, di sini dia tulis 6 days, but actually it's a 5 days program because we find sebenarnya kalau 6 days on Saturday, banyak participants sudah penat. Jadi kita decide we'll make it very compact. It's a 5-day program, and in mind that we have is for the management team, for them to expand their leadership impact and also scale their company. So some of the key takeaways, I would say the theme that we have here is called Get Inspired, Get Connected. Very much what we want, or the objective that we want out of all our participants here, is to rasa inspired because you'll be learning in an environment like Oxford. You'll be hearing from the speakers that are from Oxford. The learning space itself pun very inspiring because dah beratus-ratus tahun tempat ni, right? And when it comes to get connected, why that's part of our tagline also is because we want to ensure that network of the people around you, the participants tu paling penting. Jadi tak ramai, it's not going to be that many people, but throughout, as you can see dalam the cohort hari tu, all the cohorts akan jadi very close, akan jadi kawan baik. Jadi sampai sekarang pun they're still good friends. So because the network part is where then you grow your ideas, your business, new things will come out of it. So those are some of the key takeaways from the program. I'd be happy to share with you the details further after this. Okay, program schedule. So if you see here, it's 5 days. We do have 2 sessions, which is October and December. But our October sudah penuh ya. Jadi we are focusing on the December. It's December 15 to 19. The first 2 days is focused on leadership. So we talk about, we start with the big theme first, which is how do you navigate global shifts, and then a little bit of Oxford historic tour. Jadi ada campus banyak di Oxford, so it's a whole city itself. And the campus that we work very closely with is Lady Margaret Hall. Tapi ada macam Worcester College, ada Balliol College, ada so many more that it will be a big tour juga yang akan make sure you wear your sports shoes lah kalau you datang on your first day. And then we have a fireside chat. In this case, when we have our fireside chat, we call leaders. In this example, we had Khairi Jamaluddin, which is a politician that is quite known in Malaysia. A lot of people aim kalau dia boleh jadi Prime Minister one day, hopefully. And he talked about the journey that he had to go through as a leader. So these are some of the things, and the leadership chats that we want is for someone to be locally inspiring as well. Jadi it's not just from a global perspective, tapi ada local flavor juga, so that it's more relatable. Then we have the mentoring session. Okay, the reason that we have this mentoring session on the second day is because waktu tu it's very important to start discovering yourself. We want the participants to know on the second day itself to start surfacing issues, challenges that they face. Our reason is we won't solve your problems, as Khairi Jamaluddin have said. The next few days of this program is for you to get the toolkits for you to carry with you, as you know that these are the challenges that you need to work on. And then it's about understanding yourself as a leader. So it's very much a reflective session first. And then after that, how do you want to communicate yourself to your team as a leader? So it's very much internal first, baru external. So those are the 2 days. And then on the Tuesday, so kita tak nak serious sangat with the classes, we do have punting. And punting ni also ada team element, yeah, because they'll be in their own group. They will have to punt themselves. Jadi ada sekali tu handphonenya siap jatuh di river. And in showing pure leadership, dia masuk and ambil dia punya recover her phone from the river yang, as you know, it will be very, very brown. Right, Joe?
Right.
Yeah.
Can I just add something to what you said? Because it's a very good summation in that what happens with the program, because you're set a task at the very beginning, everything that you learn goes into the task which you present on the final day. And so it all comes together. So bits that may not be that clear to you at the start suddenly fit together. And in the introduction, a very, very important point was made. And that's about friendship and networking. And as you go along this, you'll be working on your own, but we've seen the most amazing friendships develop an idea through this. So it really is one of those voyages of discovery as you encounter all sorts of topics that are probably unfamiliar to you, or which you've heard talk about, or which you kind of wanted to learn about but didn't have the opportunity. This brings it all together in the way that Tanya so clearly explained.
And Joe, would you like to take through the last 3 days of the program?
I can't see what you've got up there exactly,
okay.
But if you just give me some pointers.
Yeah, so we have the creating memorable customer experience, also branding, influencing. Maybe you can just give a summary of like the next 3 days.
Yes, I mean, one of the things that I look at, which we explore, is how marketing is evolved and changed. It used to be talking about price, product, promotion and place, those sort of things, but very much how we move on to looking at the importance of understanding the customer and how we actually have to communicate them with all sorts of different ways and all the trends that are going along, but also how a lot of the focus now on communication is making life convenient for the customer. So we explore all of those different ways and also what is meant by value. And quite a bit of our focus is actually talking about brand, because all the businesses that you have and that you run are actually small brands. And we look at what is meant by brand identity as opposed to brand image, maybe your brand equity, how you actually define a brand, but also increasingly important now, how you create a personality for that brand. And that links back to understanding what your values are. And rather neatly, we can bring all of this together when we have a visit to Bicester Village. And Bicester Village is a rather extraordinary place in that whilst it's a shopping experience, you'll find all the big name brands there. But what you'll find it's a very good example of one of the big trends that is also coming through in marketing, which is marketing as customer service, as customer experience. Because with AI and all the other media that flows around, the relationship you establish with the customer in the way that you serve them, whether that's in a hospital, whether it's in a coffee shop, whether it's in a retail business, generates memories. And when you go to Bicester, you'll end up with some very powerful memories, because whilst Bicester is a place where lots of brands sell, it is also a brand in itself. And so how they treat people, the fact that you don't see any litter, the fact of how people are dressed, brings together a lot of the things that we talk about on these final days to do with marketing. So it's not just professors like me talking about it. We're actually then making it a real experience for you so you can connect the theory with the reality. So that's a little bit of an insight into it.
Itu tadi 2 perancang kurikulum di program LEAP atau Leadership and Entrepreneurship Acceleration Programme, University of Oxford, Tania Rashidi dan Joe Pelitzie. Kita terus akan ngulik lebih banyak soal ini, jadi jangan kemana-mana, tetap di Uang Bicara.
Bagaimana kamu melihat cinta? Seberapa jauh eksplorasimu soal cinta?
Nikah, pacaran, cinta aja nggak cukup gitu. Tapi kalau saya bilang, cinta aja tuh cukup.
Makna cinta, Cile, aduh.
Pokoknya ketika bilang cinta itu gue cuma tahu kalau you fall in love with the person and the complete package of the person ya.
Cinta itu bisa menyenangkan, tapi cinta itu kadang rumit. Tiap orang punya ragam cerita cintanya. Love Buzz membebaskan kamu mendefinisikan dan mengalaminya.
Ekspektasi itu ada kayak banting-banting meja, banting-banting piring gitu.
Tapi gue ngerasa if I feel it, I need to say it.
Dengarkan Love Buzz di kbrprime.id. Tersedia juga di platform mendengarkan podcast lainnya.
Love Buzz, membicarakan perkara yang tidak dibicarakan ketika berbicara perkara cinta.
Kamu masih dengerin Uang Bicara, menavigasi kamu supaya tetap cuan bareng saya Puri Anindita. Episode ini kita masih ngobrol sama 2 perancang kurikulum program LEAP atau Leadership and Entrepreneurship Acceleration Programme, University of Oxford, Tania Rashidi dan Joe Pelitzie. Kita lanjut ya.
I think I'm gonna turn the spotlight back to the audience for a Q&A. Jadi silakan aja Bapak Ibu teman-teman, karena kapan lagi kita bisa dapat insights langsung dari pengajar di Oxford University. Silakan kalau ada mau curhat benar-benar customize sesuai dengan industri masing-masing, boleh bertanya. Jika dirasa mau saya bantu terjemahkan, saya bisa bantu terjemahkan. So I'll help translate for Joe and Tania. And any takers, siapa yang mau bertanya? Mikrofon sudah tersedia ya. Jadi boleh angkat tangan. Teman-teman dari Child Fund mungkin, ya silakan. Joe, this one is from Child Fund. Go ahead.
Terima kasih. So, yeah, it is interesting for me to learn about how branding and then how to personalize the brand itself, how to communicate your product. But the things that I also would like to get your opinion that sometimes different sectors also create different approach, and then how this how your program is accommodating while you will have like so many people from a different sector like me. I'm from the NGO, which is now you learn that it's become a competitive and it's become industrial, social industrial as well. So this is something that we would like to know how Oxford is actually tailor-made this kind of program into the needs of everyone, and then at the end of the day, like you said, that's at the 5th day, it's not only about networking, it's not only making a new friends, but also learning something that's actually really based on your needs, your experience. Thank you.
That's a very, very good point. And the way I answer it is that most businesses and organizations tend to think that they're different, whereas in fact they're all broadly similar in terms of the way that they have humans at the center of them, humans with values, human needs, and servicing customers. And quite often in marketing and communication, we talk about the mechanics. If you can understand what the mechanics of marketing and branding are, then what you do is you start realigning them to the needs of your audience. So the mechanics are fundamentally the same, but you realign them towards the needs of your audience. And I'll give you an example. They're recently now talking about what's called vibe marketing, which is you're very, very strong on emotion and mood. Now, this is strange to me because in the 80s and 90s, it was very, very big on advertising, which was always strong on mood. And I was reading about a water brand, just sells water. Buy water, so get water from the tap, you can get it from a bottle. This is a phenomenally successful brand. It's called Liquid Death. And it says, murder your thirst is the tagline. And it's no different from any other water, but it's the way they approach the marketing of it in terms of communicating completely differently. They're doing fundamentally the same things as other brands, but they're just differentiating it in order to appeal to an audience who wants to buy a water that appeals differently. So in answer to your question, it's the same mechanics, but you're learning to apply it slightly differently into your own business. Because, and this is the final thing I'll say, which is important, is that most businesses tend to look at what other businesses in the same sector they are in and doing. So they just copy what they're doing. And so they copy the good things, but more importantly, they also copy the bad things. Whereas what we want you to do is understand the mechanics of what we're talking about, but to look at unrelated businesses that are doing good things and bring those into your business.
Dengan Bapak siapa tadi? Dengan Pak Rudi. Oke, thank you Pak Rudi, semoga menjawab. Bersamaan dengan Q&A ini, kami juga mau mengundang Dr. Aina untuk bergabung dengan kami di depan. Jadi kalau ada pertanyaan soal package dan sebagainya, bisa juga ke Dr. Aina di sini. Selain Pak Rudi, ada yang mau bertanya dari round table lain? Silakan. Teman-teman kunci Telkomsel, boleh? Silakan. Mas Santo atau Mas Pran?
Oke, thank you Mbak Puri. Mungkin aku bahasa kali ya biar lebih clear. Dari sini mungkin cerita sedikit Bu, bahwa kami itu edutech pertama yang menjalankan salah satu course mirip gitu ya, tapi sama SBM ITB dengan topik hampir mirip gitu ya, General Management dengan nama ini MBA. Mungkin pernah browsing dan pernah dengar. Hal yang pertama yang pengen kita tanyakan adalah seberapa cocok ini untuk perusahaan yang ada di Indonesia. Mengingat di Indonesia sendiri company itu punya keterbatasan dari sisi development people-nya gitu ya. Di level mana program ini lebih cocok gitu? Di level top leaders kah atau di level middle or level junior itu bisa cocok juga gitu. Itu yang pertama. Yang kedua, ada kemungkinan atau tidak mereka mendapatkan benefit lain seperti rekomendasi kah atau title as a professional title gitu dari program ini. Itu mungkin Mbak Puri, thank you.
Tanya, did you get all that?
Okay.
Just to make sure the message comes across. Which level in the management you think that this program is suitable for? And the second is
certification.
Certification. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah. Jadi untuk level, I would not say level specific, tapi decision makers paling enak, paling elok lah. Yeah, because dalam situation ini, walaupun I think middle managers, because they make the decisions, also would be very relevant. So I hope that answers the first question. When it comes to certification, it's certified by, you will get a certificate of completion by Oxentia, but it's not a diploma per se of that level lah. I would not say that it is. It's more of a certificate of completion. Tapi saya faham because ini MBA within your company itself, selalunya because saya pun dari HR, memang kita akan membuat untuk part of our leadership and development. And that's why we also include in this program elements of leadership. Jadi macam tadi yang saya explain it's also something internal for. That's why I say it has to be managers and above, because kalau juniors susah ya. Tapi kalau you are a founder ataupun you are a decision maker, maksudnya macam our last participant ada yang 19 tahun pun sudah join. Tapi the reason that dia join is because dia father dia punya, it's a family business, jadi bapanya expect dia to take on the business eventually. Jadi mindsetnya sudah ada, I kena start leading a company soon. So in that sense, I would recommend people who are decision makers to attend this type of program.
Semoga menjawab ya, Mas Pran ya. Satu lagi mungkin dari round table ini, most of you are solopreneurs, digital creators. Maybe Miss Angelica.
I'm still thinking, actually.
Not yet? Okay, take your time. We can mingle after this. But Tanya, anything else you would like to add? Or Dr. Aina, go ahead.
Maybe I'll just wrap it up a bit about, and then I will take it to Dr. Aina to take on. But we'll go on to, where's the clicker just now? Oh, okay. So I just want to highlight a bit about the alumni network, because when it comes to alumni, I just want to share the companies that we have here are companies that are either F&B, ada yang own data center as well, or Siti Khadijah. Ada kenal Siti Khadijah yang Telekong? He has also attended. So those are some of the LEAP alumni network, and goes back to tadi bila Dr. Aina buat her introduction, we were talking and we were discussing why not we tap into the Indonesia market. The reason is we want to widen it. I think there's a lot of sharing and knowledge that can be exchanged with one another, opportunities there to collaborate. And so that is something that I just wanted to highlight as part of a LEAP network. And so this is just a little bit of data, because data selalu bagus ya. But so far what we have are very satisfied participants. Dalam 80% says that this is they're very satisfied, this is very relevant to them. About 90% have said that, and 93% have said that this is an extremely valuable. So we do hope that this would be the same to the people here. If you decide to join or participate or considering to participate. Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Aina?
I think the other thing we should add to this, if I may, is that these topics, they change and they evolve all the time. And as professors, we have a responsibility to you to make sure we're on top of what's going on. So we update things, we introduce new ideas, new concept. So it's always changing. So that's one thing. And I think the second one, which gets more and more powerful, it's this alumni network. In terms of, that's the second thing. And I think the third thing is actually about transformation. I've seen people who've arrived at the beginning very nervous, very apprehensive, because they've never been to England. They're in this strange Harry Potter world. And then all of a sudden, at the end of 5 days, they're flying high. They've suddenly had a light bulb moment. They've made friends. They've discovered new things. And it's all come together. So there's lots going for it. So you just have to come out and find out for yourself, won't you?
Thank you, Joe. Okay, Dr. Aina, you'd like to take over?
Alright, just to summarize everything ya. I think it's a bit too heavy ya untuk malam Jumaat lah. Lagi mau hari Minggu, mau lagi libur ya. So saya summarize saja karena yang ini would be the first cohort in Indonesia. We've done it a lot in Malaysia. Like Tanya mentioned earlier, we started in 2012 and then we took it off. We break for a while because of COVID. Then we continued. Our youngest participants was 19 tahun, tapi kita juga ada yang entrepreneur leadership, they were in the same group. So what they did was, walaupun ada senior managers, middle managers, dan juga entrepreneur, they actually went through the same course. Not so much of classroom setting ya. Mungkin hari pertama, hari kedua aja yang classroom setting, nanti the next day you go into the fire chat session where you share. Probably if you come from corporate world, it'll be different. If you come from entrepreneurs, would be different. And they also had a group of people who were in government sectors in Malaysia and a group of doctors who wanted to move from clinical to corporate. So they were sharing because everybody has different ideas on how to run your business, whether you own the business or you work for the business. Jadi from this sharing and all this communication, Joe and Tanya actually developed and refine ya lagi modulnya jadi lebih concise. Jadi tadi pertanyaan Bapak kan, how does it fit into your organization? One size doesn't fit all. Tapi along the way kan, hari-hari yang you always have this different discussion, and because it's not like an ordinary way you go to, ya namanya pergi ke Oxford, tapi bukan langsung duduk di Lady Margaret Hall setiap hari, karena harus bergerak dan speak to people, connect to people, and also people from different background. Then they actually summarize in a week. After a week, they decided like, oh, probably customer experience yang begini probably doesn't work anymore. Ya kalau dulu kalau orang datang kita minta survei aja kan, ratingnya 1 sampai 0 sampai 10. Tapi sekarang orang gunanya QR code. But it doesn't work in the elderly community. Dikasih QR lagi dimarahin ya. Ya saya nggak ada iPhone, saya nggak ada smartphone. So they actually showed you and teach you during that day, during that course. Gimana ya kalau your target market masih luas, tapi you have from the youngest to the oldest. And how do you actually bring your business or your corporation to another level? So it's very much of two-way communication sama team with the cohort yang pergi bersama, and also with the professors in Oxford. So kalau Bapak Ibu berminat, mungkin hari ini seperti yang saya bilang kan, it's too heavy. Mau malam-malam udah mau bincang Oxford, ya pulang dulu, libur dulu ya. Nanti saya paskan kartu nama apa-apa di WA aja. With that, terima kasih. Enjoy your dinner and sampai ketemu lagi ya.
Oh, scholarship, financial aid.
Ya, ya kalau ya ini namanya cohort pertama Pak. Jadi kita belum ada scholarship. But we will try to look into kalau mungkin as time goes by we probably have. But because right now sebelum kita ada makan malam gini kita udah ada 10 partisipan yang udah register. So we are looking at early bird. Instead of kita charging full, we actually cut. So harganya dari 110 ya, 110 juta. So for early bird is 105. This is inclusive of accommodation. Jadi accommodation is included, flight enggak. Karena apa ya, flight enggak saya masukkan. It's December. Ya bapak ibu ya kalau pergi ke sana enggak mau 5 hari belajar aja ya langsung nanti ibu-ibunya mau Boxing Day. Ya itu satu. Nanti anak-anaknya mau winter market. Jadi flight memang saya nggak masukin sekali. Cuma accommodation and also classes and dinner and breakfast, lunch and dinner. Gitu. Lunch, breakfast and lunch. And then dinner would be, usually they like to go on separate time. Scholarshipnya nanti ya Pak ya, slowly ya.
Okay, Tanya, you also have something else to add? Maybe like a bonus?
I think I look forward to having a new. I look forward to people here joining the cohort. Very much. I think Joe and I will look forward to greeting you all in December inshallah.
It would be cold.
Yeah, it'll be very cold, but Joe likes cold. Maybe I'll add a little bit of a fun video if we have the time.
Oh yeah, of course.
So a little fun video of Lady Margaret Hall so that you know the history of where the college is going to be or the classes will be set.
Baru aja kita ngobrol bareng dua perancang kurikulum program Leadership and Entrepreneurship Acceleration Programme University of Oxford atau LEAP, Tania Rashidi dan Joe Pelitier. Nah, kalau udah dengerin kamu tertarik ikutan program ini, pengen ngerasain experience belajar langsung di kampus Oxford bulan Desember nanti, kamu boleh nih langsung kontak Dr. Aina yang email dan nomor teleponnya ada di description episode. Sampai sini dulu episode Uang Bicara kali ini. Saya Purendita pamit. Dengerin terus Uang Bicara menavigasi kamu supaya tetap cuan setiap Kamis di platform mendengarkan podcast kesayangan kamu. Dan jangan lupa nonton juga dong videonya di akun YouTube KBR Media. Bye for now.